I gotta hire a lawyer here soon, and lawyers are charging me 9 to 10,000. Well, it's 9 to 15,000 for my case. Plus, I got rent I gotta pay on top. I got a motorcycle payment.
And you have a motorcycle in addition to your vehicle, sir?
This is a fully contested case, so I'm going to take testimony. Ms. Granado, can you please state your full name,
Lisa Marie Granado.
the name and ages of your children, please?
Patricia Hendrix, 23, Peyton Hendrix, 17, and Paxton Hendrix, 6.
Ma'am, how are your children covered for insurance?
My daughter has her own insurance, and the two boys are covered through Healing Hands, which is it's an income-based clinic.
Ma'am, when Paxton was born, did Mr. Hendrix sign an acknowledgement of paternity?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in agreement to be named joint managing conservators of your two minor children with Mr. Hendrix?
No, ma'am.
Are you unable to make decisions together with Mr. Hendrix?
Mr. Hendrix and I are at an impasse as far as visitation is concerned.
Are you unable to make decisions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please wait for the question to be asked before you answer.
Have you guys been able in the past to make decisions on the best interests of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
But currently you're having disagreements on the visitation schedule, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in agreement with designating the Dallas and surrounding counties as your primary areas of residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking for Mr. Hendrix to have a standard possession order where he visits first, third, and fifth weekends of the month?
Can you elaborate as far as him coming to visit the children versus the children going to him?
The children going to him Fridays, 6 p.m.
No, I'm not in
to
agreement, ma'am.
Okay,
Please
so
wait
you
for
do
her to
not,
finish asking the question.
you are not in agreement with him having a standard possession order.
No, ma'am.
Do you want him to have supervised visitation?
No, ma'am.
Do you want him to have no visitation?
I I'm sorry. I'm not totally opposed. I don't feel comfortable with the children going to his home. However, I'm not opposed to him visiting the children, if that makes sense.
Has there been family violence between you and Mr. Hendrix?
No, no.
Has there been any, do you have safety concerns with Mr. Hendrix?
Not with Mr. Hendrix. Mr. Hendrix has a wife that I have safety concerns for my children about.
Okay, has there been family violence between Mr. Hendrix and the children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Hendrix is currently unemployed, and the state is proposing child support be set at $328 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that amount?
I actually I had asked the court to dissolve the case. I will no longer be be seeking child support for any of my children.
Too late, ma'am. Too late.
Okay, well,
We're gonna do all the orders, including some things you probably might not like today, but We're doing child support. So are you agreeable to the 328, yes or no?
Yes.
The state's proposing that medical support be set at $146 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Is that on top of the 328? Or
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that, okay, yes, ma'am.
The child support arrears are currently at $7,146.10. Are you requesting to release that amount?
I was going to release that if we were going to wipe it clean where there was not gonna be any child support. So no, I'm not releasing it.
Okay. So you are in agreement for him to repay that amount at $80 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024?
Just to clarify, is that the rears for Paxton or is that all the rears for all of the children?
All the arrears.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're in agreement for him to repay it, I'm sorry, at $86 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And the state's calculated medical support arrears in the amount of $11,736.33 as of November 6th, 2024. It will be paid at $109 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes,
And just to confirm, you are no longer releasing the medical arrears. Is that correct?
that is correct.
And do you have any safety concerns with your phone number being in today's court order?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any safety concerns with your address being in today's court order?
No, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Cardinal Witness.
Mr. Hendrix, can you please state your full name?
Patrick Edward Hendrix.
Sir, when Paxton was born, did you sign an acknowledgement of paternity for Paxton?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, a copy of the state's petition was emailed to you today. Did you receive that?
I haven't even checked.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would like the court to take judicial notice that Mr. Hendrix has appeared today.
So noted.
Mr. Hendrix, are you asking to be named joint managing conservators with Ms. Granado?
Yes.
Do you feel that you are able to make decisions together with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to communicate with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking for a standard possession order?
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been family violence between you and Ms. Granado in the last 2 years?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any safety concerns with your phone number or address being in today's court order?
No, ma'am.
Sir, are you currently working?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that the state used the minimum wage presumption to calculate child support?
Yes, ma'am.
The state's asking for child support to be set at $328 beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you in agreement to pay $146 in medical support beginning December 1st, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Child support arrears are $7,146.10 as of November 6th, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that amount is to be paid at $86 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Do you agree to that?
Yes, ma'am.
State's asking for medical support judgment in the amount of $11,736.33 as of November 6, 2024. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And you will repay that amount at $109 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
The state's not asking for any, I'm sorry, there's no request for retroactive child support for Paxton at this time.
Ma'am, I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt. I
Ma'am,
did
can
ask.
you, ma'am,
I'm
please
sorry.
wait. Sir, are you in agreement if, I'm sorry, sir, are there any drug or alcohol issues?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any safety issues concerning your wife and Ms. Granado?
No, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Say rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So we're doing an order. This is just regarding the 2 minor children, not the older child. Some of the arrears, of course, do include the older child. It sounds pretty simple. I'm not sure why y'all didn't have any agreements today, other than Ms. Granado not agreeing to anything. It sounds like this is pretty standard. Child support is based on minimum wage at $328 a month. Medical support at $146 a month. Child support arrears and medical support arrears, as stated in the hearing, are granted at those payment amounts. No one's requesting a non-disclosure of their address, so your address and phone number will be in the court order. There's no family violence. There's no reason why y'all can't be joint managed conservators. Y'all need to figure out how to work together better, which it sounds like, Ms. Granado, you're the problem. Y'all have to be able to communicate better than you have. There's no reason for Mr. Hendrix to come to your residence for a supervised visitation. That doesn't make any sense, especially since he's married. I don't think his wife's gonna like that. That's not gonna happen. There's no reason for that. Y'all have 3 kids together. Y'all have a long history together. There's no reason why Mr. Hendrix can't have standard visitation. So Mr. Hendrix will pick up the children at the beginning of his time for visitation on Friday at 6 and have them until Sunday at 6 every other weekend, as well as every Thursday from 6 to 8 o'clock, as well as some of the holidays. The holidays will be split up in the court order as well. The children cannot decide whether to go for visitation. They must go. They're required to. And so the children will go with Mr. Hendrix should he choose to come. Mr. Hendrix, you're responsible for picking up and dropping off, but you can deal with your time as you like. Of course, I expect that both of you would make sure that your children are safe. So if there's anybody that's unsafe or whatever, y'all need to make sure your children are taken care of. But outside of that, there's no other restrictions. Court calls bill to Mr. Hendrix. So I hope you all understand the order. The Attorney General's office is going to put that all in writing, and that's what you'll have to follow, even though you may not agree with it. And if you don't, then you could be held in contempt of court and maybe put in jail. We don't want that to happen. So make sure y'all follow all the court orders. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
We're here on a petition to establish the parent-child relationship, and we have a partial agreement. So I will read the agreed portions. Parties agree that there's been no acts of family violence in the last 2 years between them. Parties agree to no non-disclosure. Father's gross income is $2,066.10. Parties are in agreement for child support to be set at $365 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Child support through the mother's employer and father to pay medical support in the amount of $150 a month beginning December 1st, 2024.
You have medical support to the mother, correct?
Yes, through the mother, through her employer.
Okay.
Parties are in agreement for the mother to be named sole managing conservator. Child has disabilities and is 2 years old, so parties are in agreement for a modified possession schedule until the child reaches the age of 3. Then after 3, standard possession. The supervised visitation will be by the maternal grandmother, Charlotte Anderson, on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Exchange location would be at the McDonald's on 10320 Lake Jude Road in Dallas, Texas. Zip code 75217. Court costs as billed to the father. And parties are in agreement that the mother will set the Dallas and contiguous counties as her primary areas of residence. There was positive DNA case and parties agreed to establish the father as the legal father. Your Honor, may I share my screen to present the DNA test?
Well, call a party first and then do that.
Okay. Miss Kayla, can you please state your full name?
Yes, my name is Kayla Cope.
Can you state the name and age of your child?
Malachi Deshaun Anderson, his age is 2.
Ma'am, did you hear the portions that I just stated?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes.
Ma'am, was there a DNA test performed in this matter?
Yes.
And did you get a chance to see the DNA test?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I share my screen at this time?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yes.
And do you see your name right here?
Yes.
And do you see the child's name, Malachi Anderson, here?
Yes.
And do you see the alleged father, Sylvanus Lanier, right here?
Yes.
Okay. And right here, do you see where it says probability of paternity is 99.999%?
Yes. Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to submit this DNA test as State's Exhibit 1.
State Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I stop sharing my screen at this time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Cope, you need to get to a quiet room, Ms. Cope. I can barely hear you with the background noise, okay?
Sorry, my son is home, so I don't have no one to watch him. Just a second.
Okay. We should be done with your testimony pretty soon. If you could just give us a couple more minutes.
Okay, ma'am, are you requesting retroactive child support in this manner?
Yes.
You can stop
And
the screen.
retroactive child support for 11 months was calculated at $12,873.92. Are you in agreement with that amount?
Yes.
And to be paid at $114 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, card next witness.
Mr. Lanier, can you please state your full name?
Sylvanus Lanier.
Sir, not speaking on the retroactive child support, but did you hear the prior pronouncements that I made?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept those agreements today?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you in agreement that your child has disabilities?
Ye-
Yes, I personally haven't known, I haven't met the child.
Are you in agreement to having indefinite support due to the child's disabilities?
I would like to ask that I would like to ask, I forgot what his name was, Mr. Lanier, I believe he said I have the option to ask if we could revisit later when the child is older to see if it will need indefinite support.
So you're not in agreement to indefinite support due to the child's disabilities?
Yes.
Okay. The state's asking for a judgment for child support arrears in the amount of $12,873.92 to be paid at $114 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And sir, you did get an opportunity to see the DNA test as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Culp, if you could unmute there again, can you tell us what your child's disability is and if you believe that will continue even after the child turns 18?
So my child, Malachi has autism. He has sleep apnea, severe obstructive sleep apnea. He has von Willebrand, that's a rare blood disease. He has a brain injury where they placed a shunt inside of his head due to the excess fluid. He has asthma.
Yeah, what I'm mainly trying to point at is do you think he's going to be able to, I know you have a real young child, so I guess that's what I'm questioning, what Mr. Lanier is also has some questions about. Obviously autism is one of the more major ones, I guess. Is there something that, is it something that he will not be able to function as an adult and you'll have to care for him for the rest of your life?
Well, like Mr. Lanier said, only time will tell. But I do believe that with him having autism, yes, I will. And due to his brain injury, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna approve all the agreements y'all have made and make those the order of the court. I'm gonna make child support indefinite, so it'll go basically forever. But we have a long time for that to maybe change, Mr. Lanier. So obviously we have another 17 years, I guess. So if the child winds up being able to be a regular adult and get a job and all those kinds of things when he's 18, then you can petition the court to change the support, maybe to end it. And then but either way, even if the child was not disabled, you still have to pay child support until the child was 18 anyway. So we will know anyway in the next 17 years and go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and find that the child is disabled, and then you can always petition the court to modify that if something were to change in the future. It looks like y'all agreed to the retroactive support amount, and so that's also included in the agreements that I approved today. All right, the Attorney General's office will put that all in a court order and email y'all a copy. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the insurance, leave on the Zoom so that you can leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was CP Insurance, right, Ms. Etterview? Or was it
Yes, via her employer.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got that right.
Your Honor, we have an agreement on this modification and confirmation of arrears. Mother's agreeing to release all arrears. That's $20,101.75. Parties are in agreement to set obligation to zero because they are co-parenting 50-50 and sharing equal possession. Parties are asking for child support to be set at zero. and medical support to be set at 0. Father's currently providing health insurance through another source. This time I will call Miss Julie Rosario. Please state your full name,
Julie Rosario,
name and age of your child or children.
Cameron Moore, and he's 8 years old.
Ma'am, did you hear the agreements that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you are in agreement to release $20,101.75.
Yes, ma'am.
And were you coerced in any way,
No,
threatened in any way,
no,
and or pressured to release these arrears?
no, ma'am.
And you understand once they're released, you cannot get them back?
Yes, ma'am.
And court costs today are billed to the father. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been any acts of family violence between you and the father in the last 2 years?
No, ma'am.
And you're not requesting a non-disclosure, correct?
Correct.
Pass the witness.
All right, next witness.
Mr. Moore, will you please state your full name?
Pierre Moore.
Did you hear the agreements that I just read?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
And do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to accept these agreements today?
Yes, ma'am.
And has there been family violence between you and the other party in the last 2 years?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any safety concerns with your address or phone number being in today's order?
No, ma'am.
And court costs are billed to you today. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
No problem. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, y'all approve the agreement y'all have made today. The Attorney General's office will put that in order. They'll need a couple weeks to process the change. So please wait for that to happen, and they'll send out new withholding orders when they make the change as well. All right, you're done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vega and Kaylee Joy, please unmute and turn on your cameras.
My camera's broken, but I can turn it on. It's gonna be black.
That's fine.
My I can turn my audio on, but my camera is not wanting to turn on. So I was trying to call in, but it wouldn't do it.
All right.
The state would like the court to take judicial notice that Miss Kaylee is in the court today and was sent a copy of the state's petition via email.
So noted.
There's a partial agreement in this modification and confirmation of arrears. I will read the agreed part and take testimony on the contested part. Parties agreed for child support arrear judgment in the amount of $13,737.01 as of October 31st, 2024, to be paid at $120 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Parties are in agreement for a medical child support arrears judgment in the amount of $1,525.76 as of October 31st, 2024, to be paid at $25 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Court costs as billed to Mr. Ortega. Ms. Joy is represented by a Memphis attorney, and he is planning to register this order in Tennessee. I'll take testimony on the contested orders and the contested parts. Ms. Joy, can you please state your full name?
Kaylee Joy.
Name and age of your child or children?
Paisley Joy, and she is 3, about to be 4.
Did you hear the agreed parts that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept the agreements today?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, do you know if the father is currently working?
I have no idea. I've been told different several times, but I don't know how true any of that is.
And the state is, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, as witness.
Mr. Ortega,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
please state your full name?
Jonathan Ortega.
Mr. Ortega, did you hear the agreed portions that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept them today?
Yes.
Mr. Ortega, how is your child covered for insurance?
That's something with the mom. I don't know.
Your Honor, the state is, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Oh, you're not gonna ask him about his income?
The state's going to request to non-suit the modification to gather more information. The father's not being forthcoming about his employment. He wants support based on minimum wage, so we'd like to non-suit the modification portion.
Okay. All right, so I'm in order that your child support judgment is $13,737.01, payable at $120 a month. Medical support arrears are $1,525.76 to be paid at $25 a month. Court cost bill to Mr. Ortega. The state's non-suiting their petition for modification, so that means that the child support and medical support will remain the same as in prior orders. It won't be changed today. And that'll be the order of the court. Y'all are done with it? You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Can I say something?
No. I mean, you have a
Well, I
question?
mean, I'm not working right now, and I do have other 3 kids at home, so I don't know if if there's the possibility to modify my child support.
Well, the state's saying they want to non-suit it. They don't have enough information for you. You were ordered to give them information about your income, and you haven't done that in there, so they're not wanting to proceed with a modification because you haven't shown them any proof of your change.
I did let them know I got fired.
But did you give them a document?
I guess they received my last paycheck. That's about it. I mean, I don't know what kind of document I was supposed to give in.
Okay, but my question was, did you give them a document?
I don't know what kind of document I should have sent.
Okay. All right, then. That's what the ruling is. I'm not changing the child support or the medical. Y'all can press leave to exit out. Thank you.
Parties are in agreement to be named joint managing conservators, with the mother designating the Dallas and surrounding areas as her primary areas of residence. Parties are in agreement. There's been no family violence between them in the last 2 years. And for Mr. Harris to have a standard possession visitation order. The mother to carry medical and dental insurance through a private source. Cash medical to be set at $0. And the dental to be set at $10. Non-agreed is the child support and retroactive child support. So I'll take testimony at this time. Ms. Jones, can you state your full name?
Jateria Daquanis Jones.
Name and age of your child or children?
Cedric Harris. And you said, I'm sorry?
Age?
He's 4.
Did you hear the agreed portions that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to accept them today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, the state's asking to set child support at $466. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And the state is asking for child support arrears to be set at $12,054 paid at $100 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Court costs billed to the father today. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Has the father given you any money in the past towards the child in the last 25 months?
Yes.
How much has he given you?
Hold on 1 second. Came out to 2440. 2,440.
2440.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you in agreement to give him credit towards the judgment amount of $12,054 for the
I'm sorry.
Are you in agreement to give him 2440 for credit?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, can you state your
Yes,
full
ma'am.
name?
Cedric Harris.
Sir, did you hear the agreed portions that I read?
Yes, ma'am.
And were those parts still your agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept it today?
Yes, ma'am.
So the state's asking to set child support at $466. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And retroactive judgment, the state's asking for a judgment in the amount of $12,054 to be paid at $100 a month. But with a credit of $2,440. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a moment. So the state's asking for a judgment in the amount of $9,514. Are you in agreement with that amount?
What, that I have to pay like retro?
Yes, that's the $12,054 minus the $2,440 that she said you've given her in the past.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Court costs are billed to you today. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, I'll approve those agreements and those the child support and the retroactive judgment as well. The Attorney General's office will put that in a court order in writing with more of the details in it and email you a copy. You're done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is a default in a suit affecting a parent-child relationship. Miss Green, will you state your full name?
Katara Green.
Name and ages of your children?
Asen Johnson, he's 4, and Markeithius Johnson Jr., he's 3.
Ma'am, you were sent a copy of the state's petition via email, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would like the court to take judicial notice that Ms. Green received a copy of the state's petition via email.
So noted.
Thank you. Ma'am, has there been family violence between you and the other party in the last 2 years?
Uh, no, I think 3 years.
Okay. But you are requesting a non-disclosure?
Yes.
And is because you don't want him to know where you live?
Yes.
And do you have any safety concerns about him knowing your phone number?
No.
Okay. And can you share why you have the safety concerns about your address?
Yes. Do you want me to tell you the story, or am I just
Why you feel uncomfortable?
Because our prior situations, to where I was pregnant, being dragged and hit on, even after my kids was born, him putting them outside at 11 o'clock at night, threatening to shoot whoever pulls up to come and pick them up.
And you are aware that he's currently in jail.
Yes, I just found out today.
Okay. Are you asking to be named sole managing conservator?
What does that mean?
To be the person who makes the primary decisions for the child,
Yes.
the children. And are you asking to designate the Dallas and contiguous counties as your primary areas of residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that there will be no possession and access awarded to the father at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's because of the multiple charges and high bond amount, is that correct?
Yes.
You are aware that he has one other child?
Yes.
The state setting child support at 0 beginning December 1st, 2024 because of the incarceration. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
How are your children covered for insurance?
Through the government, Medicaid.
The state's asking for cash medical to be set at 0 beginning December 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
The state's asking for retroactive child support in the amount of $11,700, but that's for the months of December 2020 through August 31st, 2024, using minimum wage. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And the payout to be 0 due to the incarceration. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
And the state's requesting that the court waive court costs today. Are you in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, pass this witness, Your Honor.
All right, default judgment granted as requested. The Attorney General's office will put all that into a court order for me to sign. If you find out he gets released, then call the Attorney General's office. You may know before they do, but otherwise there's nothing to do until he gets let out of jail on a permanent basis. You're done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is there is a temporary order in place on a petition that we had filed to add another child. And the case was reset, to my understanding, to allow the father to provide us pay stubs, which he did. So I will take testimony first from the non-custodial parent. All the issues are contested, so with the exception of some provisions of the temporary order. So I'll call the father. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Christian Morel.
And sir, who do the two children in this case live with?
The mom, Judith Contreras.
And sir, you're okay with the mother still having sole managing conservatorship?
Yes.
And you're still okay with the provision in the temporary order for the standard possession schedule, correct?
Correct, yes.
And is it your understanding that the mother wants the geographic restriction to Dallas lifted?
What does that mean again?
Is it true that the mother would like for there to be no restriction on her address? Is that true?
That's fine. Yes, true.
And sir, are you wanting the children to remain in Dallas County and surrounding counties till they're 18?
Yes.
Where do you live, sir?
I live in Dallas County.
Okay, thank you, sir. And sir, you were ordered previously to pay child support, is that correct?
Yes.
And then in August of this year, there was a temporary order that lowered that child support amount. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it was based on minimum wage, right?
Correct.
And today I shared a pay record with you, which showed your arrears, correct?
Yes.
And I'm going to share it with the court, okay? So Your Honor, I'm going to share my screen and present the pay record. Just one moment. And do you see right here where I have highlighted that in 2022 of February, your payment was $350. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Then, like I showed you earlier, this pay record shows that the amount went down for 9/1/24. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you understand that that means that this pay record has both orders, the amounts for both orders. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that the state is asking that arrears today be confirmed in two amounts? The first amount at $2,072.20. Are you in agreement for the judge to confirm it today at that amount?
Yes.
Okay. And I know we weren't super sure about the payout amounts. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
But you are in agreement that you owe this money, even if you're not in agreement with the payout amount. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then for medical support, we're going to ask the judge to confirm it today as of October 31st in the amount of $1,259.83. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And we're going to ask the judge to rule on a payout amount. Okay.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing my screen and ask that this be admitted as State's Exhibit 1.
States everyone is admitted.
And sir, you have gotten a new job, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and how long have you been working at your new job?
Almost a month, 3 weeks to a month.
And you get paid weekly, right?
Correct.
It's a valet position.
Correct.
And what is your base pay for a valet position?
So it all depends with tip and everything. I believe it's like $7.25 or $7.50 an hour, but it all depends on, on the tips, how much we get.
Right. So you emailed me two of your most recent pay stubs. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. And we don't have information for a month because you've barely been there for a month. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So the first paycheck that you sent me, is it true that it showed that you made $696.41 gross? Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're a W-2 employee, right?
Correct.
And then the second pay stub that you showed me, it did show a variance in pay. It showed $489.01. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we had a little bit of a challenge to figure out what your monthly wages was, correct?
Yes.
Is it your intention to stay at this job?
It is, yes.
Okay, so things are going well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I did is I averaged both of those pay stubs. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I came up with an amount of $592.51 per week.
Sounds about right. Yes, correct.
And I calculated that if you were to get paid that on average for 52 weeks, and I divided it by 12 to get your gross monthly income. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And as such, the state, didn't change the medical support amount that we're asking for, even though we could. We left it at 113. Is that what I asked you earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
But now, do you understand that the child support is no longer based on minimum wage, that I'm asking for it to be set at $529. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And are you in agreement with that?
I'm agreed. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. And sir, are you okay? And you understand that medical support would be on top of that at $113. Do you understand that?
I do understand, but I don't really agree with it.
Okay, so let's talk about let me just get through the payout that I'm requesting for child support arrears,
Okay.
and then we'll get to the reasons why you may want something different, okay? So on
Thank you,
the
yes.
child support arrears, we're asking for that to be paid at $60 a month. That would be enough to cover your interest. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay, and the medical support arrears, we're asking that it be paid at $56. Are you in agreement with that?
What was it again? Sorry.
$56
For
medical support arrears.
what is medical support arrears?
Sir, do you understand that that child support goes to the parent and that medical support, the cost of Medicaid, if that's what order, goes to the state? So it's two different payments. Do you understand that?
Okay. Yes, I understand now.
Okay, so I know that's been a lot. Thank you for bearing with me. Tell me what amounts you're not in agreement with.
I don't mind paying I don't mind paying, but if I believe I'm gonna be paying like $700-800 a month. I haven't done the math right. If
I'll
you
do
want to do
it.
the math real quick.
Yeah, I'll do it.
With everything, with the child support, the Medicare,
I got you. I'll do it real quick. I mean, I'm almost there. That would be $748 if the judge were to accept all of the proposals.
yeah, I'm okay with paying, what I owe, of course. I have 2 kids with them, but
Yeah.
that's just way too much money for
Okay.
what I'm making.
Would you suggest the child support amount be set at?
With everything, like around $500 around there, 550.
Okay. Do you have anything else you would like to add regarding your case?
I just gotta so as you guys know, I recently got arrested. I gotta hire a lawyer here soon, and lawyers are charging me 9 to 10,000. Well, it's 9 to 15,000 for my case. And they do want like 2,000 down, sometimes a little bit more. I have to hire a lawyer here soon in the next couple weeks. And they're asking for like 1,000 to 1,500 for monthly payments. So plus I got rent I gotta pay on top, I got a motorcycle payment and credit cards and other bills like that. So if
And
it
you
wasn't for
have
that, if it
your
wasn't for that,
motorcycle,
go ahead.
and you have a motorcycle in addition to your vehicle, sir?
Yes, I have a motorcycle. I've been having it for like a year already.
Okay, thank you. I pass this
Which I-
witness.
Okay.
Oh, did you have something else you wanted to add, sir? Pertinent to the case?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I pass this witness. I call the mother. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Judith Contreras.
And ma'am, can you tell me just the ages of the children?
Yes, one is 3 and the other one is 1.
And ma'am, are you in agreement with child support being set at $529?
Yes,
Are you in agreement with medical support being set at $113?
yes,
Are you in agreement with the child support and medical support arrears to be paid as proposed by the state?
yes,
Okay, and there's no reason to think that our arrears are wrong.
no,
And you saw the pay record earlier.
yes,
And ma'am, you're wanting there to be no geographic restriction?
correct.
Are you planning on moving?
Not anytime soon,
And you live in Dallas County?
correct.
You work in Dallas County?
Currently unemployed.
Okay, are your kids are enrolled in county schools?
I'm sorry, you cut off for a minute.
I'll continue. Ma'am, is there any other reason? Is there a particular reason why you don't want a geographic restriction?
I don't think there's any reason to have it. I don't plan on moving anywhere soon. I just don't want to be limited to where I'm able to take my kids for a better life.
Okay, I pass this witness.
All right, we're confirming the child support arrears of $2,072.20. I'm sure you saw in the pay record there have been no payments in several months. I'm going to lower that payment to $25 a month. If you have something extra that you want to sell to pay off your arrears, you definitely can. You should seriously consider that. You got a motorcycle over there, you might want to sell that and pay off your arrears. Maybe pay for some of your other fees. But that's up to you. But I'm going to set it at a minimum payment of $25 a month. And the lower the payment is, the longer it's going to take for you to pay it off. So understand I'm doing you a favor temporarily, but long term, it's going to charge you more money because of interest. Medical support arrears are ordered in the amount of $1,259.83. I'm also setting payment on that one at $25 a month instead of the $56. But again, it takes longer to pay it off if the payment's lower. Medical support is $113 a month, and child support is modified to $529. Ms. Contreras, you must reside in Dallas or any contiguous counties. Your children's best life is to be with their father, and they cannot do that if you move out of the area. That's why it's there. Should Mr. Morrell go to prison for his charges, then that may change things. If he gets moved out of the area, then that changes it. But as long as both of y'all are in Dallas County, then you have to remain here as well. Court cause as billed to Mr. Morrell. All right. Make sure you get to making payments, Mr. Morrell. They should be sending out a withholding order. Until they send a withholding order, you have to send in your payments. You need to do that immediately this week. There's nothing holding you back. That total is $692 here that we're doing here, and that's what has to be paid. I understand you have other bills, other legal fees or whatever, but those really aren't important to me. Those are issues you raised upon yourself. And so I'm not going to lower your support because you got in trouble. So you got to pay the support, and then you got to pay something on these arrears. Like I said, got something extra to sell it, pay your arrears, pay your child support. Pretty simple. All right, the Attorney General's office will draft an order and email y'all both a copy. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Your Honor, this is a change of status and a confirmation of arrears. The parties have reached a full agreement. I'll read the agreement and then I'll take testimony. The parties stipulate that the mother has been in possession of the children since August 2019. The previous order divorce between the parties had the mother as the non-custodial parent. Parties are in agreement that the mother today should be ordered as the sole managing conservator with no geographic restriction, and to be the parent to decide the primary address of the children in this case. Parties stipulate that the original order had 4 children. 1 child, the oldest, has emancipated, has turned 18, and is not enrolled in high school, is actually on their way to community college. So this order will be reflective of the 3 younger children. That's what the parties agreed to. Parties agree that there should be a standard possession order and that the father should provide 48 hours notice of his intention to exercise his visitation. There is no private insurance available at a reasonable cost. So the parties agree that the mother should be ordered to carry government medical. In addition, the state has received information regarding the father's wages for the most recent quarter, and the parties have calculated child support for the 3 children at $839 per month, and we're asking that this start December 1st. For medical support, although 9% of the gross wages is higher than what we're asking for, we are asking for it to be set at $250 for the cost of Medicaid starting December 1st. There were some arrears in this case. The arrears before the possession credits was $20,494.35. But after the possession credits with interest for 63 months, the parties stipulate and accept that the child support arrears today should be confirmed as $0 as of November 6, 2024. This is the extent of the agreements. I will now call the mother, and then the attorney will have an opportunity to ask questions. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Shaquinza Moore Burnley.
And ma'am, you have 4 children in this case?
Yes.
One already graduated?
Yes.
Okay, and you understand that this is for 3 children only, correct?
Yes.
And ma'am, did you hear all of the things that I told the judge, including the agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those things true?
Yes, ma'am.
And are those your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the judge to accept those agreements and make them the order of the court?
Yes.
I pass this witness.
Mr. Namuka, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Namuka, you're in agreement with the proposed order?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'll confirm the agreements or default, I guess, that we're doing today. Make that the order of the courts. They'll need a couple weeks to process the change to the arrears, so don't call them today to ask them why it doesn't show $0. It'll take a couple weeks after they receive my signature on a court order for them to process that, and then they can send out withholding orders to the father's employer as well. So they'll get that all done, but it'll just take a little bit of time before that happens. It won't be all today. All right, they will email you a copy of the order. Y'all are done with court. They're excused. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You.
We're here in a suit to modify child support. Parties are in agreement, so I will read the agreed portions. Parties agree that there's been no family violence in the last 2 years. Parties are not requesting are not requesting a non-disclosure. Parties in agreement that the father makes $20.45 an hour, the gross income of $3,545 a month. Parties are in agreement for child support to be set at $539 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024. Parties are in agreement to set medical support at $319, beginning December 1st, 2024. Parties have requested a change while parties are contesting their current. No, I withdraw, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Villegas, can you please state your full name?
Valeria Villegas.
Can you state the name and age of your child or children?
Aileen Lucia Mendoza, 9 years old.
Did you hear the pronouncements I just made?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept those agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, do you understand that the only matter before the court today is that of child support?
Yes.
Okay, any matters pertaining to conservatorship and visitation are not pled for, not properly before the court, okay?
Okay.
And court costs are billed to the father. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, next witness.
Mr. Mendoza, can you please state your full name?
Manuel Mendoza.
Sir, did you hear the agreements that I read earlier?
Yes.
Are they still your agreements?
I I just had one question about it.
Are they not
Um,
your agreements?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I'd
So,
like if I could have a court order to.
sir, can I finish and then I can ask you for anything else? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe this order is in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept these agreements today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any matters that you want to mention to the court?
I'd like a court order to place my daughter on my insurance as soon as possible. I'm up for insurance selections this month, but I mean, if I can do it as soon as possible before that goes into effect January 1st, I'd like to do that as soon as possible.
Okay, you understand. How is your child currently covered, sir?
Through Medicaid.
All right, I'll answer that question. Anything further, Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, I just like a court order to add my daughter onto my insurance currently instead of waiting until January 1st.
I heard you the first time. I'm trying to get anything else?
That's all.
Okay. All right.
Your
So we're
Honor.
modifying support to the 539. For now, what we have to do for medical is that you don't have the child enrolled as of today. So then the only thing that we have right now for the child is Medicaid. So for the court order, we're doing Medicaid, and it'll be 319 for medical. If you have the court order will not read that you're going to carry health insurance because you don't have health insurance enrolled right now. What you can do is you can wait till your enrollment period, which if it's this month, that's pretty convenient. You can enroll your child on the insurance. And then when you get the insurance card, notify Ms. Villegas, give her an insurance card, inform the Attorney General's office as well. Then Ms. Villegas can notify the Medicaid office, and then they can take you off of paying the $319 a month. But until you show proof, it's going to continue at the $319 a month. If you had insurance already right now, today, then I would say let's go that way instead. But we don't have it enrolled at this point. So that's definitely something you can explore if that's something you want to do, especially if it's cheaper. But it won't be in part of the court order because that's not what we're doing as of today. All right. The Attorney General's office will email y'all a copy of the order. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties agree that there's been no family violence in the last 2 years. There's no request for non-disclosure. In the prior order suit affecting the parent-child relationship signed on April 25th, 2008, the maternal grandparents, Maureen and Robert Smiley, were named primary conservators. The grandparents are in agreement to a trial amendment to be added as a necessary party.
Are they present?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can only see one person. Okay. All right, go ahead. Well, y'all didn't answer either. So do y'all swear the testimony?
No, we did.
or
I
you did it?
apologize. We just didn't say it loud enough. Yes, we're present.
Yes.
Okay. But my question was, do you swear the testimony you're going to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Go ahead, Ms. Setifi.
Thank you. Parties are in agreement that the dependent Sky lives with Michelle Smiley, the grandmother. Parties are in agreement.
The mother.
Mother.
I'm sorry, the mother. The parties are in agreement for the mother to be named sole managing conservator and to designate the Dallas and contiguous counties as her primary areas of residence. Father's gross income as a self-employed worker is $3,500 a month. Father has no other minor children. Parties in our agreement for child support to be set at $524 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. Health insurance will be made through another source, and father to pay $163 a month beginning December 1st, 2024. And court costs as billed to the father. This time, Michelle Smiley, can you please state your full name?
Michelle Levy Smiley.
Name and age of your child?
Sky Alexia Hymas, and she's 16.
Ma'am, did you hear the agreements that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to accept these pronouncements today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
Okay, pass the witness.
Okay, card next witness.
Mr. Hymas, can you state your full name?
Eulalio Jaimes.
Sir, did you hear the agreements that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to accept these pronouncements today?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Card next witness.
I would like to call the maternal grandmother. Please state your full name, ma'am.
Maureen Smiley.
Ma'am, did you hear the agreements that I read?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of this child?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept the agreements today?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Okay, card next witness.
Maternal grandfather, please state your full name.
Robert Eugene Smiley.
Sir, did you hear the agreements that I just read?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, are they still your agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe they're in the best interest of the child today?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to accept these agreements?
Yes, ma'am.
Ask the witness, Your Honor.
All right, I will approve the agreement y'all have made today. The Attorney General's office will put that in writing for me to sign in a court order and then make those changes. They will try to email you if they have your email addresses. Y'all are done with court then. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.